So today I invite Ninjo here for the Zoom because one thing I want to share with our friends who know only Spanish or not fluent with English. Well, so what happens is that Ninjo have helped me to do this video in Spanish. It is in my channel. So here on my video is available in Spanish language for everybody who is fluent with Spanish. So thank you, Nimjo, for helping this.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. I guess many people will have Spanish friends. Maybe they're not that fluent in English, and they're interested in Wing Chun or some different points of Wing Chun. Then they can recommend maybe this video as an opening for to be able to know your work and maybe to inform themselves at a deeper level of different things, maybe that they've never heard before or they've never confronted before. So yeah, and I apologize in advance. I'm not Spanish. I just lived here for 20 years. So there's going to be a few mistakes with speaking, but it's totally intelligible. My Spanish is pretty good.
So in your translating for so many videos you watch carefully, what do you find actually? Because when you go through my video in these details, you will find something. What do you find is the most important thing right now for everybody to know?
Yeah, it's very easy to forget details because there are so many details when you're talking about not just practice, but when you're talking about history, for example, then there's a lot of details that are essential. That sometimes if you forget to mention, then people don't have a complete picture. And the video, which I translated for people, is just an opening. I mean, it refers to many things, as you've referred to many things in the past, that maybe if you're more interested, then you can go deeper. So it touches on many subjects. It's a 1.5 hour long video, so it's quite long. But the main thing is that when you translate things like that, or when you go over every word, you have to be really careful that what you say is accurate and faithful to the what's being expressed, okay, or the words which are being used. Because if you start interpreting stuff, then you're running a very thin line between making up your own idea about something, and I try not to do that, right? So if I do give extra information, for example, when you showed 3 illustrations of the Shaolin short strike, then I give, maybe you didn't give the reference of Shaolin short strike, but I give it to the people because there's other videos you've done before, right? So little things like that. And of course it's great, doing things like that, because you remember more. It's like studying, okay?
So there is an issue here, which is I usually address. It's like using the cell phone. If you don't follow exactly what it is, you will not be able to use the cell phones. And study Wing Chun is also the same. So I still taught class for a little people, very few only, who is serious. The reason why I make people redo their homework again and again is because they need to know the details. It's like operate the cell phone. For past 130 years, it is not doing this way. So you end up with, there are so many things in Wing Chun. Like yesterday, I make a big video in Chinese because some friends asked me to show it how I do it. No. Everybody in Wing Chun know the term of immobile elbow, right? So Nimjo, you know about the immobile elbow, right?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Again, this is this is down to the interpretation of the school that you come from. But a popular idea is that the punch, your fuksao, your tansao, and your punch share the same elbow, right? So that is a popular interpretation of it.
You know, you want to know what is the truth behind this?
Yeah, sure.
This elbow. What did he say?
Yeah, stable joints. Yeah.
That's all what it means. It is not immobile. Somebody making things so magical, like you have all the power in your body that is from the elbow. They really don't understand the 7 bowls of the Wing Chun 1850s. They don't know that this elbow, what it means is only stable joints. Meaning that when you move your hand, you need to watch out for the stability. The same thing with your knees. It just asks you to aware that that knee, if you want to use it, you need to know that it is a stabilization joint, while your wrist is mobile joints. Your shoulder is mobile joints, so that you be able to make the best use of your body. But your knee become what? Become clamping goats. I have no idea where is that come from, but because everybody is doing that, well, you end up that one guy is telling the other guy and everybody doing it. Okay. So the truth is, it doesn't tell you about this clamping knee. It tells you about stability. If you understand what is the truth of human body and what the ancient ancestors said, you can do polymetrics. If you misunderstood that and you carry on that you need to climb a goat or training your stand, then you're dead, because those are incorrect human handling of the knees. Same thing with your elbow. Nobody say that you have to jam your elbow there. Nobody say you have to clamp your knee that way. But heaven knows, for past 130 years, why the hell are people doing that? And now in the West, with the sports science and today's advanced science, you say, oh, I know. What the heck they're talking about? They're talking about stability. They are not talking about not moving or immovable or clamping. So if you don't read between the lines and the fine prints, I mean, heaven knows what the heck you're talking about. And we talk about this like the body should in. Did there's a saying for that, like this? So in the ancient time, you shoot in, you get close, you stick. Does today have a term for that? Guess, Nim Jo.
What am I supposed to guess, Hendrik? The term for this?
Yeah, for this thing, stick at him, shoot in at him, pressurize at him.
I don't know. What is it? Infighting? I don't know. What is it?
There's forward pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But forward pressure is not a forward pressure. Is you apply pressure, you shoot in, you apply pressure. You apply pressure from your body to his body. But it's not forward pressure where you put your hand out there, you try to pressure somebody. You try to pressure Mike Tyson with this, you dead. But if you do this, if you are fluent and proficient with it, you can do this to Mike Tyson. Even he do peekaboo, as soon as you get closer, you get penetrate his peekaboo distance, you go close to him. If you know, not really fighting Mike Tyson, but you go close to him, you pressurize with your body with him. He never trained that way. You train that way. You pressurize his knee, you pressurize his shoulder. You pressurize him. The minute you put your hand out there, punch out, pressurize, you're dead. Right away, you get a hook or you get a jab. So if we are not careful on everything we talk about, I really don't know what we are doing. So is pressure wrong? No, there's nothing wrong with pressure. So if you get the Red Boat ancestor to come today, what is it? What is this? They ask you, what is this? I didn't tell you this. And now you have the entire paradigms of people who is using the terms, but using it in their own way. And now, you know, what can you say? And then you have made zillions of movies to promote that. And so you brainwash everybody. So who is the one who screwed the Wing Chun? It's not Xi Xiaodong, it's the Wing Chuners. Why they screw it? Because they are not serious in finding things out. If you know how to pressurize with your body, like I showed you in the Shaolin Sword Strike just now, even you meet Xi Xiaodong, he will say, oh yeah, this is like BJJ. He pressured the hell out of me. We won't say that Wing Chun is the ultimate, the best fighting arts. But people can recognize, oh, this is this. So how am I supposed to change everybody? You can't.
No, I mean, you can't. I mean, you can't. It's impossible. And if I was you, I wouldn't want to change everybody anyway, because it's you let people do what they want to do, right?
Well, the issue is just like what you have in your hand is no longer an Apple phone, and it is something, it is not function, even though you call it Apple phone.
I mean, I mean, to be honest, Kendrick, like, you know, if they can't even get the name straight, if people are calling it, you know, you can't even get the name straight, you know. So like, imagine if Shotokan Karate, or imagine if Hong Sing Choli Fat, if they didn't agree on the name that they had, right? It's like if you can't, I mean, they don't agree on the name, they don't agree on the distance, they don't agree on the particularity or the uniqueness of the art. The only thing they agree on is that it has a series of hand techniques, but even then they don't agree that this tan sao is used like that, or that fuk sao is used like this, or this nao sao is used like this. So it's as a Choi Li Fat friend said to me, he said to me, I tried Wing Chun and I didn't understand it. And I said to him, well, don't worry. A lot of people, they don't understand it who are doing it. So, you know, it's sad, but it's true, right? That's how it is.
So it's like this, all right? Everybody do this part, right?
Yeah, your sampai fat, yeah.
They call this internal. But this thing is, you stretch the heck out here, you get the muscle stretching, you push your hand out. So this is a plainly stiffen, strengthen your muscle, and you push your muscle out. The proper way of doing it is using this both sides, the muscle of this side and this side, because the muscle intertwine as a human, and you use this side to transport it. You see that? So if I have something blocked here, I'm not pushing my hand to push his hand. I just transport my strength from this side instead of pushing myself out, like tense it, and push it out. You see the difference? Jing is actually the strength with direction. Jing is only the proper use of strength in direction, with the direction. So this one
vector, yeah,
is the Jing, because you use the muscle, and then you have a direction out there, and it can spiral a little bit. So there's Jing. You lock this, you have immobile elbow here, fix it. You do here, you try to push your body out, that's called strength. It doesn't have the directions of the guiding the strength with the direction. Am I right? You can do it now and see, feel like you tense it, push it out, feel the difference between that, and then you put your hand like that. Don't tense all this thing. Use this muscle, intertwine muscle, rotate a little bit, and then you use this part to push the thing out.
You see, this is the problem. You take Yiji Kamyang, you take Yiji Kamyangma, you take the abduction stance, right? So you already showed just now that the stable joints in the body, the lower back, the elbows, the knees, the stable joints, right? Yeah. So you're doing your Yiji Kamyangma with your knees turned inwards, with your back, lower back going backwards, with your elbows locked, which is totally unnatural, right? And then you get the mobility joints, like the ankles.
Adjust your audio a little bit. It's broken. Is it better now? Try.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear, but I hear my echo and then broken.
Maybe it's because of the heat of the computer or something like that.
Okay, no worry.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, maybe you want to turn your volume a little bit out so that it doesn't broke.
Okay, 1 second. 1 second. The computer is really hot.
Okay, I think that's better. Okay, I think that's better. So
Yeah.
so let me share with you this. So let me share with you this. This is called stability joints, right? This is mobility joints, and this is mobility joints. When you go like this, you have this mobility joint, mobility joints, and this is stable. You look at that. My hand is spinning, and I issue the force out there. Now, you lock this, you push it out, you make the mobility joint become immobile. You make the wrist, which is supposed to be mobility, immobile. And then you have this mobility, stable joint, which is using that to push the heck out of everything. Now you are not using human body. And so with that,
and the common belief is that they're doing some kind of body conditioning doing that, you know.
So right now is, what are you doing? Are you condition your muscle, like the dynamic conditioning of tension, condition your muscle, or you want to transport this strength outward? So when you do this, you are transporting the strength outward. When you do this, you are actually having this tension there, like a isometric kind of stuff. And then you say, well, I go learn some Tai Chi, mind power. And then because of my mind power and Tai Chi, then this turn into internal. How is it supposed to turn into internal when you misuse your mobility joints and the stability joints? You are not effectively using it.
People use these terms now as they want, right? Any kind of term related to martial arts, and they take the liberty to invent things. I mean, that's how it is.
So and then you add up with your joints. You actually lock your stability joint. You are not using the stability joint as stability. You lock your stability joint, like you put a lock on your shock absorber stabilizer. You lock that thing. How the hell is that stabilizer is going to use? How the shock absorber stabilizer is going to function? It doesn't function because you lock the hell out of it. So that is Wing Chun basic. 130 years, you want to change it? Now you say, why is according to Hendrik? I'm not according to me. Just look at that, okay? You just look at this. Anybody who do sport rehabs will know that, hey man, you misuse your joints. You're abusing it. So what can I say? And everybody have the title Grandmaster. Grandmaster of what? So, and then they say internal. Oh yeah, you don't know. This is our internal. Like you say, there's a term called Kok Si Kok Fat, right? Every teacher is teaching different. Everybody's saying that, right? Okay, good, great. Now the Western sport rehabs doctor and everything asks you, why are you misuse your body joints? You look back 160 years.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest criticisms of Wing Chun is the lack of mobility they have, right? The lack of mobility to easily move, right? And then, like, I know osteopathists and physiotherapists that have treated dozens and dozens of Wing Chun practitioners for their knees, for knee problems, right? So of course the mobility is gone, right?
Yeah, so the issue right now is even worse than the mobility is gone, because right now your stability joint, you lock it practically you lock it. You do not let it to be alive. Okay, you lock it. Well, a joint like your knee joints, where is it? A joint is supposed to be like this so that it be able to perform its functions as stability joints. You lock the heck out of it, go to extreme, and heaven know how the hell to use it. And you call it internal. And when you are not using the stability joint for stability, but you lock it, it's like your gear, what they call it, the shock absorber, you took away the absorbing spring or whatever, and you lock the hell out of it. I don't know how it's going to work. I only know that it's going to destroy itself. You bounce it for a few times, it's going to destroy itself. So why is people do not, you know, after Bruce Lee until now is about 50 years. Bruce passed away in 1973. Today is 2022, 50 years, right? Right after Bruce Lee, you said that fine, we take 5 years that we enjoy the bloom of Wing Chun. We don't do nothing, we party, that's fine. But you have 45 years from 5 years after Bruce Lee passed away to now. You do not look into science, you do not look to into the details on how things function. You keeping pounding your experience, your grandmaster, your lineage, your whatever, your internal teaching, whatever. Even when you hit 1996, when the first time you see that Wing Chun doesn't work, at year 2000, that versus the UFC or MMA. So there's 25 years later, from 75. You still don't look at it. You still continue on your Tai Chi Wing Chun, Mind Wing Chun, whatever Wing Chun. Now, 50 years later, the entire thing collapsed. Now, there's a responsibility here. How are you going to face the ladies who go take Wing Chun for self-defense? There's a responsibility. You take people's money. How are you going to teach them? So I'm not even questioning that how good a fighter you are, or I'm a better fighter than you, or you're fighter. I'm not even talking about that. I am only talking about that the joints, the body's stability and mobility joints, you do not know how to handle it properly. Don't tell me anything about internal until these joints be able to handle properly. And you want all your ladies, girls, Wing Chun students all screwed in their joints and so forth?
That's a mess. Yeah, you know, it's a mess. You know, the idea of being able to defend yourself, it encompasses so many things about awareness, about, you know, your awareness of what's going on around you, but at the same time, you're not even aware of what you're doing to your own body, right?
Can anybody who really want to know the body, the Wing Chun, the basic Wing Chun, they only have to read this book. You don't have to go to China or any cave within the mountain. You just read this, and then it at least save you decades. If you have spent 50 years, you go read this, you know that with your 50 years, you do not learn as much as just read this book. You know, you read that book. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, totally. You apply what it says to what you do, and you're conscious of what you're doing and what you've read. Can you hear me, Hendrik?
It go very chaotic. Repeat again what you said just now. Don't speak too fast.
If you apply what you read to what you're doing, and you're conscious of what you have read, then it changes the way you do everything. It becomes a different thing.
So the issue here is like in this thing. Weeks ago or months ago, somebody tried to copy this book and writing his own book, copying my stuff. The problem with that is that person have clueless on what it is. They don't know how to handle their body. And that's why I pull legal action with it. See, there is something called responsibility, especially like right now in the Spanish speaking world, you know, actually, I don't know that there are so many people who not fluent with English. That's why it's good that now you have this video on translating, so people know. You know, the bottom line is like this: if you can cheat on the billionaires, the multi-billionaires, I leave you alone. But for the people who is living, I mean, working class people like us and everybody who want to learn more about the self-defense and everything, if you do those kind of things, where is your heart? Where is your heart to copy this kind of thing? And whatever you don't know, add on some garbage there and then writing in Spanish and screw your own people. And I will not let that go. Why? That's what I say. If those people who is a multi-billionaire, multi-millionaire, they want to learn something, they have their advice, or they can make sure that they are proper or not proper. If you can cheat on them, that's your problem, then they are their problem. But when you get into a common people who is making a living, working, they need to have a good body, and you're screwing them, that is not right. Well, martial artists martial artist is the one who should stand up for the proper. You watch Yip Man movie said, martial artists, when there is not true, not proper, you should stand up for it. Do you walk your talk? So right now, this Wing Chun stuff is, see, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying that if you cannot even handle your joints, you're going to screw that. And then when you get as old as me, 60 something, problems start to come out. It's a very high medical cost.
Mm. Yeah.
So I won't even talk about.
And if it happens,
I won't even.
If it happens to you when you're younger.
When you're younger, you have more muscular there. You can sustain and so forth. When you're older, when you're aging, and then your body get weaker. I mean, shouldn't we care for people who is older and our brother and sister who is older and lady who is weaker? I'm not saying that looking down on ladies being weak, but I'm saying that the body structure is not as in general is not as strong as the male. Okay, so I'm not discriminate anybody here. We just talk about physical because we want to protect and make sure that nothing go wrong if it's possible, because this is about helping people.
Yeah, you can't lie to people about how to defend themselves if they are vulnerable, right?
So this joint stuff, just this momentum stuff and everything. You know how to correct this? Let me share with you how to correct it, but people will not do it. Why? Because it involves money, benefit. Somebody can just make a movie, and in the movie, you put the real information, the proper informations, and then the entire world know. And of course, over here in my channel, you can have all the information, but it's not a flamboyant, get a movie star to do it and those kind of stuff. So in Buddhist practice, is this all boiled down to karma. Those who have affinity will be able to have the chance to watch it. Those who don't will never see it. And so the bottom line is about the Wing Chun, the education. So okay, that's for everybody today. Thanks again for the translation, Nimjo.